Hello everyone, welcome to the Casual Classroom. Today we'll be taking a look at one of the most fun, vibrant, and exciting series of the past 10 years, Fire Force. Thank you for joining us as always. Also, I am doing a bit of a rebranding project right now. We're going from the Writing Runner to Casual Classroom, but everything else is gonna stay the exact same, trust me. Except hopefully the quality is going to be a little worse. I've been getting a little arrogant lately, and I think that would help. The manga versus anime debate has never been as mainstream in the States as it is today. Barnes & Noble has a bigger manga section than their Marvel and DC sections combined. And you got Michael B. Jordan out here trying to turn the Creed series into a weeb psyop to further Japanify the soul of the American youth. Personally, I've actually begun to prefer manga to anime. I find that I usually like the art of the series more, and the author is able to more plainly and openly talk to the audience, which I really appreciate. There are some manga that take a massive drop in quality the moment they're off the page. Please just refer to any Junji Ito work. But likewise, there are manga that were seemingly just begging to be made into anime. The Naruto franchise comes to mind immediately for me. The action in the series does have plenty of flashy special moves, but there's just as much incredible, plain, martial arts, and that looks so beautiful in animation that it's just hard to say no. But there is but one series that yearns to be off the page more than any other. The very soul of the series beckons it to motion and color and light and sound. Oh wait, fuck. I told you that already. It's Fire Force. Forgot I mentioned that. So this is going to be a little half review, half commentary piece. On the one hand, I will be reviewing Season 1 of Fire Force in general, but on the other, I'll also be talking about how incredible and vibrant the animation and sound design of Fire Force both are, but with that, let's get going. Fire Force fastly follows the fierce new Fire Force member as he fights for folk to feel fabulously safe from fiery foes. Fantastic. Shinra Kusakabe is a young man who joins Company 8 of the Fire Force, the newest branch of the organization meant to protect the citizenry from infernals. And infernals are basically just people who one day up and burst into flames and become like demons. What a fun world. Infernals are kind of the backbone of the power system, pyrokinesis. With pyrokinesis you can do almost anything, I think. But each pyrokinesis user has one signature ability centered around fire usually, but it can even be things like temperature in general. Shinra's being known as the Devil's Footprints. With this ability, Shinra can shoot fire from the soles of his feet, using it to maneuver and fight as well. The burst and roar of Shinra's feet are incredible, and the bass feels like it kicks you right in the chest. But the pyro abilities only get better for the eyes and ears in the rest of Company 8. They go from purely awesome and badass with the Lieutenant, Takehisa Hinawa, who has the ability to use the sparks from a bullet to change its speed or trajectory. Takehisa becomes an incredibly fun gunslinger to watch as he can shower you in submachine gun fire, or just shoot you with rounds so big that it turns the barrel of the gun into like a fucked banana. The zips of the bullets are like the Fire Force equivalent of piano keys, and their motion lines always frame a scene beautifully. On the cuter side, however, we have things like Maki's sputters. Maki is a fellow fire soldier in Company 8. Now, I know I just said Takehisa was the one with the guns, but those fucking pythons actually are not related to Maki's pyrokinesis.
What the? Hey, what'd you do to my fire? You got Excalibur too?
These adorable little guys are sentient fireballs that Maki can summon at will, not just to burn people, but they can also do things like pilot the Iron Owls, a pair of floating weaponry that flank Maki to bolster her fighting abilities. But maybe the best sound effect in the whole show comes from the captain of the 7th company. The 7th represent just how different each company can be, as they adopt a completely different style and attitude than the 8ths, and they're one of my favorite aspects of the season. Captain Benimaru is one of the most powerful pyrokinetics on the planet, and his sun wheel abilities sound just as impactful as they should.
Sorry, Conroe.
But I mean, you get it. Fire Force sounds incredible. So let's just kill a little time, and until you let me out of the magic box you put me in for this, let's just talk about the rest of season 1 in general, because it's really fucking great. Fire Force is the second big hit from mangaka Atsushi Okubo, the first being Soul Eater, which I am also very happily working my way through. You can actually check out how I feel about the series so far on my new channel. I'm not quite sure what the name is yet, but I will have it down in the description. I'll also have it on screen here. It's going to be something like casual conversation or casual classroom talks, I don't know. But with episode 1 of Pre-Recorded Livestream, my new, hopefully weekly podcast, where I discuss what I've been reading, watching, and playing this week. One thing I love about Soul Eater is how every element of the presentation stems from its roots of horror and Halloween. They've got Frankenstein, a witch, Reaper is here.
Death walks among us.
And I absolutely love how that approach to theming is used in Fire Force. The world of Fire Force is sharply divided between a new religious age and hardcore crazy theoretical physics. The Holy Soul Temple is built literally and figuratively on the charred corpse of our world, since there is no public explanation for infernals and pyrokinesis. People turn to faith. Nearly every Fire Force division has at least one nun running around. They pray before putting down an infernal, and they will even bless weaponry. To contrast this, many of the abilities are based in theoretical physics. For example, Shinra's brother Sho has the ability to cool down the universe to the point where it stops expanding, and when it stops, time is frozen to everyone except Sho. Now see, what I love about that is not only is it really cool, but it's also 100% accurate. Well, if by accurate, I mean if Okubo is shooting for making one of the coolest series-wide aesthetics in all of anime-manga, he was very, very fucking accurate. I think my favorite melding between the powers of the series and real religious elements and symbology from our world is the reveal that pyrokinesis comes from Adola, a different dimension which you may know as Hell. Okubo also clearly just has the best fucking time making each and every one of his characters, and you can really tell. They all feel so specifically and lovingly made and designed. I don't always love how he treats them in the end, see Tamaki mainly, but for every awkward lucky lewd scene, Shinra has at least 3 moments that literally make me stand up and scream like a baby gorilla. Speaking of, Shinra Kusakabe is one of my favorite anime protagonists as of late. His nervous, toothy grin is an incredible visual motif. And Shinra so often being called a demon or the devil really helps sell the critical look the series takes at institutions like the church. I love what his reckless, fierce personality brings out in the people around him. Shinra can rally almost anyone to his side with his infectious battle spirit. And now, before we trek any farther into spoiler swamp, let me just congratulate you, Atsushi Okubo, on making the baddest hose in the game.
And the Oscar goes to...
And the Oscar goes...
And the Oscar goes... And the Oscar...
So I wanted to talk just a little more specifically about the way that Season 1 of Fire Force wraps up, so heavy spoilers for up until that point for the rest of the video. I thought that the reveal that the Infernal that Shinra had been hunting the whole season ended up being the corrupted version of his mother still trying to save both of them was incredible. I also thought that the subway tunnels underneath the city being seen as a long-fabled underworld was just fantastic. I really loved how Shinra just very nearly got to Sho but couldn't quite, so I am super pumped to see what comes up next in the series. Also, that Vulcan arc sucked. Fire Force is an incredibly fun shonen show. It doesn't have the deepest plot, it doesn't have the deepest characters, but it looks incredible on a great TV with expensive ass headphones around your ears. And sometimes that is all I really care about. But that is the video for this week, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us as always. I will catch you next time. Bye. Hey y'all, thank you so much for watching that video, and if you've made it this far, a special double thank you as always. So I've got a lot of stuff that I wanted to say at this end bit here, so I'm going to try and cover it all pretty briefly. So first off, sorry about the delay last week. I had a crazy week. So first, I got my first concussion ever, and I didn't even know that I'd been concussed until like the next day. I just thought I was like really sick. So that was horrible. And then my apartment building got condemned, so I'm moving right now. So things went really awesome last week is what I'm trying to say. But, you know, everything's gonna work out fine. You know, it's not that big a deal. But, oh shoot, what other stuff do I have to cover? Right, okay. New podcast, pre-recorded live stream. That'll be over on the other channel. That should be down in the description. It's just going to be a time for me to, like, kick back and talk more casually about everything that, like, I watch and read. And also, so, an idea I had for it is, say, like, next week I would probably talk more in depth about Fire Force. Because, like, I don't want to, like, spoil the video topic by, like, having it in the podcast, like, the week before it comes out when I'm more, so, like, watching the stuff. Like, does that make sense? Like, this week I'm going to talk about Jaya, because, like, I wrapped up Alabasta, I watched, like, a few more episodes, but, like, not enough to talk about it in a video. But anyways, really last thing here really quick. This Flash comic is what I'm showing off this week. It was going to be the little doodle I did of my new logo, the, like, original, that I will be buried with. But no, it's just the New 52. Nope, that's Rebirth. I'm so tired. It's a pretty good Flash run. It's not bad.